MySpace Secrets here. It's wake up time. Wakey wakey guys and girls. Welcome. Hello there again for another update. And boy, there are a lot of people that still have not woken up to what has been going on. And these are the people that still think the economy is strong and going to get stronger. They're the ones that have turned their back, and they're the ones that think you're crazy when you tell them the things that I bring to you in these videos. And I tell you what, if I can just wake up 1, 2, 3 people with these videos, then it's well worth my time and effort. If you are one of these people that have just woken up, well, welcome to the group. You see, none of these stimulus packages and bailouts are going to help, as the economy is gone too far now. None of the treasury bond buybacks or any of the schemes or any of the next tricks that we are about to see from the government are not going to work. And just so I can bring you up to speed, the economy will completely change over the next decade. That is the message that some might just take with a grain of salt. But this change is going to be frightening for many people. I mean, really frightening. But you can't get frightened. It was bound to happen anyway, especially with what has been going on. Power, greed, corruption on Wall Street, lies, cheats, so on and so forth. So don't be fearful. These changes are coming and they need to come. Just prepare the best you can. If you lose your job, don't be afraid to take any other job, even if you feel that it's beneath your skill level, beneath your means, and save what you can. Buy some bargains and stock up where possible, because it's too late to do anything else. The world for now, or the most part, has come to worship money, materialistic things and riches. So many people just buy whatever they want, whenever they want, but it stops now. It's one big lesson in history that will be forever remembered, because now times are changing. Just have a look at how many things have gone on since 2008. There's been a lot of things that have been going on, just as I thought they may have, since I started posting these videos. Now the market is still going up, but the news is not getting any better. So the people that think the market is just going to keep V-bottoming from here have another thing coming. Good luck to them if they think their riches will come from putting money in the market right now. People still think that the idea of the dollar collapsing is stupid, but now they have their eyes open, their ears open, and listening for more, that it is now a possibility. I myself have no doubts that it will come later. Big events like this don't just happen overnight, of course. And the people that thought that there was not going to be any food shortage or food crisis are now starting to see the problems arise. Why is that? Well, there's going to be a food shortage by this fall, because no one is subsidizing the farmers. No one is doing this, and no one's giving them the means and the supply so that the crops that were supposed to be planted have not been planted in the major farming communities, and they're the ones that are heavily relied upon. Now, I do not want to even think about what that's going to do to the supply and the cost of things eventually down the track, but I know it's not looking good right now. And to amplify this problem, it's going to be hell when the US dollar does collapse. Eventually it will. I mean, I don't get any enjoyment out of saying it. I know it's a horrible thing, but we need to help people prepare, because if the dollar collapses, inflation will be so bad that American and a lot of the people which own this currency are going to beg for a new one, and that already seems that it's setting the stage for that right now. People are going to be begging for a lot of things, like we have just seen that people were up in arms about these big executives getting massive payouts. Goldman Sachs has just released news today that they're going to cut they're going to cut the pay of executives, because people are getting mad. You know, people are going broke as the share price on the market keeps tumbling, while at the same time these big corporate executives get to sit back in flying jets and planes and have their big multi-million-dollar houses and lifestyles. Do people have the right to get angry at this sort of thing? Of course they do. But for now, we are in a deflation, so people aren't really seeing the negative effects right now. And some things will continue to get cheaper. But wait till inflation comes. Gasoline will go up to $5 because inflation will be so bad. Yes, it really will be that bad. If you have been watching the news as of late, there's been US backing for a worldwide currency, and that sent chills down my spine. The US Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner shocked the global markets by revealing to Washington that they're quite open to Chinese proposals for a gradual development of a global reserve currency. Now, as Timmy Boy explained that what was happening and what their understanding was, the dollar plunged instantly against the euro, the yen, and the sterling. I think the mere fact that the US Treasury Secretary is even entertaining thoughts about a global currency means that the dollar is in very bad danger. But they're not just going to come out and say that, are they? That's why there's a lot of sneaky tactics going on. Sometimes you've just got to read between the lines of the media. And I myself do this all the time, and it helps me know what is on the cards next down the track. And this is one good example. But we have to remember that the US is about to lose its status as the dominant global superpower. And if the dollar does collapse, I think yes. If so, what will become the new global reserve currency, and what will replace the US in something like a new world order situation? I mention this because there's already been many changes, but a new period of history evidencing a dramatic change in the world political thought and a shift in the way changes should be made. Well, if people get so desperate and things are really balancing on edge, the population is only going to be more than willing to accept the implementation of a newer order system, especially with what we're witnessing with the economic collapse of America and other countries. And if the US was to collapse in the same way that, let's say, Iceland or Latvia already have fully collapsed, the whole world is going to be affected, and a complete overhaul in the system would be needed anyway. And I'm sorry to say that it will come down the track in the not too distant future. But in the short to mid term, there's going to be a global dumping of the US dollar, assets including US government assets, because the past 8 years of imperial overstretch, hybris, and domestic and international abuse of power by the Bush administration has left the US very weakened financially. And when we look back at what is happening years from now, people will be saying and talking about this age being the first decade in the 21st century that stands out as the greatest restructuring of any global economy, perhaps greater than any other industrial revolution that we have ever seen. And it seems to be the most realistic scenario, particularly if China, one of the largest creditors compared to the US, if the Chinese government decided to dump all of the US dollars, the entire US economy would collapse overnight. Now, this is not going to happen, but they have the power to do so. And these are just some of the topics that are relevant in the up and coming important G20 meeting. So I will be watching that with very keen eyes, and so should you. And I must mention too, it's very important that we watch to see what happens to the market, like the last G20 meeting. And they're my thoughts on the matter. I will continue to post more of the truth because I think it's very important. Let's wait and watch and be patient to see what happens in the next few weeks or so. It's going to be very important, especially with the G20 meeting. Like I said, I will pass on more of my knowledge, or that which I think is important, because there are many more things to come down the track. As I said, the economy will completely change, and the old economy will evaporate and the new one will emerge over the next decade. But we have not even started to see the beginnings of this yet. Hope these videos are helping. You can drop me a line at financial911@gmail.com or visit our new site. The link is below. Until next time, enjoy. More updates soon. Peace and goodbye.